Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're looking at Polestar's latest upgrade that brings Apple CarPlay. This brings Apple CarPlay and the YouTube app to the Polestar vehicles. So this is actually quite interesting for the company. Nice step for Polestar bringing the YouTube app to the Polestar vehicles. Granted, the Polestar 2 infotainment system, it is not a landscape. It is a portrait display, and it's not necessarily ideal for streaming videos and watching videos, but nevertheless, it can still be quite useful. Now, CarPlay has now enabled the projection of Apple Maps in the vehicle's gauge cluster. That's offering a preview of the latest version released by Apple last year. Polestar has released a new software that allows Polestar 2 owners to easily watch streaming videos while their vehicles are charging. Now, additionally, the update offers an improved version of the Apple CarPlay with the ability to project Apple Maps onto the instrument cluster. Now, the last feature is intriguing. It might give us a sneak peek at what Apple's updated CarPlay, which can show multiple displays across the dashboard, could be like. P2.9 is Polestar's 15th OTA upgrade since the year began, signifying the rise in reliance on car manufacturers on updates like these equipped with the state-of-art infotainment system, such as advancements, streaming videos, gaming, and other convenience are now featured that are connected to the car. Now, with the Polestar vehicles, you can actually play video games through the car, which is really incredible. I've actually seen videos of people playing Forza Horizon on their Polestar with their Polestar vehicle. That's really incredible. Who would have thought? But that's really good to see. What I'd really like to see is the portrait display on the Polestar 4 SUV being used for streaming services, streaming videos, and for gaming as well. That'd be incredible. I really like that car for multiple reasons. Now, until last month, YouTube was not included in the native Android OS. However, Google has now announced that they will be rolling out the app to vehicles with Android Automotive, beginning with Volvo and Polestar cars. CarPlay is set to get an upgrade on the Polestar vehicles with the release of the new OTA update. Last year was the first time the Swedish automaker included it in their car. But thanks to the update, users can look forward to improved functionalities. Polestar promises that more features will be made available. Phone calls can be answered with steering wheel. This is all while using Apple CarPlay, of course, with Apple Maps displayed on the gauge cluster beyond the wheel, a unique occasion for the CarPlay to be occupying two displays simultaneously. So that's really something, and you can see it in this image. You got Apple CarPlay that's on the right, on the actual main display, and you've got it on the gauge cluster. That's really incredible. That is actually quite new. That really does show that Polestar is able to upgrade these vehicles in many ways that we could never imagine before. Because I always knew that they could add updates to the main infotainment display, the one in the center of the car. But the gauge cluster, I never knew that they could add that level of update to the vehicle. That's really good. Looking forward to the future. Polestar is looking good. Now, Apple has promised to bring an innovative phone projection system to the forefront of in-car technology, with better integration and support for multiple displays. Nevertheless, the release has been sluggish, and many car manufacturers have indicated that they will be moving away from CarPlay. And many manufacturers have indicated that they will be moving on from CarPlay. To the end, General Motors declared earlier in 2020 that its new lineup would no longer include CarPlay or Android Automotive. That's quite bold. That is quite bold to say the least. Now, finally, Polestar is modularizing the range assistant app to give drivers more precise view of their energy consumption. They announced that the upgraded algorithm for the predicted range shown by the app have been altered to consider changes in external and other conditions that have been affected on efficiency. So essentially, they're improving their system overall, especially that system that tells you how much range you've got remaining and how your battery is affected, how your driving style affects everything, the instant consumption, the projected range, the history throughout, not to mention climate control and driving. How does it affect the use of battery? This is quite good from Polestar. And we know one thing, car systems, car OS, they tend to be quite terrible. So Apple CarPlay is perhaps the best out there, but I don't think there's any vehicle out there that uses only Apple CarPlay. But Apple is working on a car, and when that comes, I can promise you they're going to make it very simple to navigate in car. That's what Apple does. They make it extremely simple for you as the customer to navigate throughout your car, throughout your laptops, throughout your iPad, throughout your iPhone. That was the thing about iPhone when it just came out. It's the simplicity. There was just one button, the simplicity. And while it was a big change for people, people got used to it quite quickly. The simplicity. It changes everything, and that's what Apple is really good at, creating simplicity. And they'll probably do it with Apple CarPlay. They'll continue to revolutionize this area. Now, on the last day, today, Polestar has been going up in price, which is really good. It's a small movement. It's a small jump, but it's definitely welcome. It is good to see. And if we look at the last 5 days, it's been very unstable. You know, we've had some really low points. But we've seen this before. We've seen, moments when the shares start to recover gradually and then it just goes right back down. I'm being fairly optimistic, but the big question is, when will we break $4 for good? Because we did earlier in May, and unfortunately we kind of lost that after Q1 results were announced. So the question is, when can we do it again? This is just a great time for Polestar investor because the shares is just really cheap. And it's an extremely valuable company, but unfortunately the market has it undervalued. It's an undervalued company. And that's a good place to be for Polestar investors. But I'm not going to say much, I'm going to say what I always say. It's an undervalued stock and I love that. Hope it stays this way for a long time to come so I can buy more. Not financial advice, it's just my opinion. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to see more, leave a comment, and I'll see you in our next video.